Hi everyone, my name is Mike Judd from Active Training World, and this is the briefing video for the StNeots Triathlon. Okay, so the StNeots Triathlon takes place in the Riverside Park in StNeots. The car park will be open from 6:15 in the morning, and when you arrive there will be two entrances to car parks. There is a car park actually labelled as the Riverside Car Park, which is a tarmac car park, and we're recommending that athletes who are taking part in the super sprint race park in there. There is going to be another entrance which is going to be onto a field car park, and which is the main entrance into the park, and that is where we're going to be parking the sprint distance athletes and also the standard distance athletes. The reason why we're separating that out is that the super sprint athletes will be finished a lot earlier than the sprint and standard, and you won't be able to get out of the other car park while the sprint and standard is taking place, certainly while the bike leg is taking place. So if you're going to want to leave early as a super sprint athlete, then we need to park you in the other car park. If anybody is arriving after 7:30 in the morning, then we will be asking you to park in the Riverside car park as well, because by that time the super sprint athletes will already be starting to potentially go out onto the road, or soon after that they will be starting to use that entrance and exit. So we really want everybody who is going to be doing the sprint and standard to be turning up between 6:15 a.m. in the morning and 7:30, so that then we can park you on the grass and maximise that car parking capability. Okay, that's the car parking bit done. So you're going to turn up, you're going to park your car, then you're going to come over to the registration area in the park. It's going to be really obvious when you turn up. There's going to be lots of gazebos, and you'll see the big transition area and lots of branding flags and stuff. So make your way over to the registration area. When you arrive at the registration area, you're going to present, you go up to the desk and you're going to be asked for your name that you've entered by, and you will be given a pack with two numbers in. You'll also get two labels, and you'll also be given a swim cap for the wave that you're doing, and you'll also be given a timing chip and an ankle strap. Okay, so what are these all for? So your numbers, okay, you'll get given two numbers. One is for the front for the run, and the other is for the back for the bike. If you are a triathlete, you've maybe done this kind of event before, it's possible you've got a number belt, in which case you can just get away with one number, and you literally spin your number belt round from the front to the back. So when you're riding your bike, you've got it on the back, and then you spin it round to the front, and you've got it on the front for the run. If you don't have a number belt, that's absolutely fine. Just simply pin both numbers to your shirt that you're wearing, one for the front and one for the back. Simple. You'll also get, two labels. One of those goes on your bike helmet, and the other one goes on your bike. That is so we can identify who they belong to, and they will be essential for identifying you to enable you to leave the transition area afterwards with your belongings. It's a bit of a safety and security to make sure that your belongings are safe. You'll get given a swim cap. The colour of your swim cap will relate to the distance that you're completing, to make sure that we get everyone doing the right distance from the waves that they're entering. And then you'll also be given a timing chip and an ankle strap. So the timing chip very simply feeds onto the strap. It's a little Velcro attachment onto a foam strap that goes around your ankle. And make sure you wear that on the left ankle. The reason we put it on your left ankle is so it doesn't get caught up in the chain on the bike. When you're cycling, it's quite possible that it can be a little bit sticking out or something, and it can get caught in your chain and cause you to have an accident. So please wear it on your left ankle. Okay, after you've picked up all your belongings or picked up all the stuff from registration, you're then going to prepare yourself. We will also have a table there with some marker pens on. We ask that you write your race number on your left hand, on the back of your left hand. This is so that we can identify you in the swim if we need to, in case of any emergencies or anything. It's very, very simple, much more simpler to identify you that way than trying to identify your race number, which you might have on under a wetsuit, for example. Okay, after you've got all that ready, you're then going to head over to transition. As you enter into the transition area, you're going to be asked to show that your bike is roadworthy. So what we'll be asking you to do is to put your brakes on so we can test that your brakes are working effectively, and we'll also just be asking you to just show us that your bike is basically safe. And then also what we'll be doing is checking your helmet. We'll ask you to put 2 fingers under the strap of your helmet. Basically, you need to have your helmet on and done up. And that is just to make sure that it's not too loose and flopping around, but also it's not so tight that it's going to cause you to not be able to breathe while you're on the bike. Okay. Then you're going to go into the transition area and you're going to find your labelled spot. All of the racking in the transition area will have numbers on, and you'll be able to find your race number. And you need to rack your bike by the saddle so the handlebars are facing towards you. And what you're then going to do is put your helmet by your bike or on your bike, and basically your shoes, your bike shoes, anything else you're going to need for the bike section and the run section. And then take with you out of the transition area what you're going to need for the swim, okay? Because you're going to need to prepare for the swim and then go off when you go off to the start. We do recommend, if you're new to triathlon, you've never done it before, or maybe you've been done a few but you always forget to do it, is to make sure you have a really good look around while you're in the transition area. Make sure you know where all the entrances and exits are. They're all going to be marked very clearly with flags. So it's where the swim in, the bike out, the bike back in, and then the run out. It's very confusing when you've come out of a swim. You might be a little bit disorientated. You run into a transition area looking for your bike, think it's going to be really easy, and it's like trying to find your car in a car parking lot at Sainsbury's at Christmas. All you can see is just a mass of bikes in front of you, and you're really confused as to where to go. So yeah, always recommend that you have a good walk through the route of transition just to check yourself out and make sure you know what's going on. Okay, so you've done all that. You're now going to go away, leave your bike in transition or your other stuff, and take your swimming equipment with you, and then go and warm up ready for the start. Now then, the starts. We are going to be starting the super sprint first at 7:45. Have a look on the race details that you've been sent, and it will show you in there the route. Basically, you're going to be swimming upstream first by the riverbank. The swim is in a river, in case you didn't know, but you're going to be swimming upstream next to the bank. You're then going to cross into the centre of the river and then follow downstream with the flow of the river back to the start point. For the super sprint, you'll go doing a shorter lap, a 400-metre lap. So basically, you only go halfway up to where there are 2 buoys. Those of you doing the sprint and the standard, you will basically be doing a 750-metre lap, which means you go straight past the first set of buoys to a second set of buoys, where you then cut across into the middle of the river and then come back again. Those of you doing the standard will do 2 laps of that course. Those of you doing the sprint just do 1 lap of that course. Okay. Okay. That is the swim out the way. You're going to come out of the swim. We'll have a ramp to get you out of the water. So you'll be exiting the water via a ramp up into transition area. Just be careful as you come out of the water. It's possible that the ground may be wet and slippy, especially if other people in front of you have already got out. So just be a little bit careful. You're on grass heading into the transition area. You're going to find your bike. Wetsuits, if you were wearing a wetsuit, and the rules around wetsuits, we follow British Triathlon's guidance on this. The rules are, if the temperature is below 14 degrees in the water, then wetsuits will be mandated on us and you'll be required to wear one. Very unlikely to be that temperature at this time of year. But if the temperature is above 22 degrees, then wetsuits will in fact be banned and you won't be allowed to wear one. Okay, so we won't know until the morning of the race, so please don't email in asking what the temperature is. We recommend that if you have a wetsuit, you bring one with you, but also be prepared to actually not wear one just in case the temperature is warm. Okay, we will take the temperature on the morning of the race with the technical official, and we will advise you at registration or over the PA whether or not it is going to be a wetsuit or non-wetsuit swim or an optional swim. Okay, so if it's between 14 and 22 degrees, it is optional. You can choose whether or not you want to wear one or not. All right. Okay, you've done your swim. You're now at your bike. Don't forget, you need to put on your helmet before you touch your bike. That's one of the big rules of triathlon. And also, you're not allowed to ride your bike until you've left transition and you've also gone over what's known as the mount line. All of these things will be marked by flags, large flags, and there's actually a line on the floor. Just make sure you familiarise yourself with where those are, okay? If you're doing the super sprint, you're going to head out onto it's a 2-lap course that stays in and around the StNeots area. It's only 8 kilometres on the bike, so it's 2 4-kilometre laps. Won't take very long at all to sort of like have a quick blast around there. Just be careful on all the junctions, of course. If you're doing the sprint course or the standard, then that is indeed a 20 kilometre course. You'll do 1 or 2 laps of the 20 kilometre course. Okay. Okay, that is the bike. You're going to come back in after the bike. Don't dismount your bike until. Sorry, you must dismount your bike before you cross the dismount line. Okay, so this is the same place where we had the mount line will also be the dismount line, and you must get off your bike before you actually reach there. Okay, that's another one of the rules of triathlon. You're then going to walk and run into transition, rack your bike up the way you found it, get your running shoes on, take your helmet off, and away you go. Onto the run course. The run course is a 2.5 kilometre lap, so depending on which course you're doing, if you're doing the super sprint, you'll do 1 lap, the sprint is 2 laps, and the standard distance will be 4 laps. Okay, then you're going to make your way, after you've done all that, into the finish line where the crowds will be cheering you wildly for the big achievement that you have just been through. Okay, so we cannot wait to welcome you back to the Riverside Park. Welcome you to Riverside Park for this race. It's a cracking venue, beautiful, really beautiful setting. The weather's behaving itself. It should be an absolutely amazing day for us. We're also looking forward to welcoming back spectators to this one. That's one thing we're now allowed to have. So we are looking forward to some crowds being there, bring people along who want to cheer you on, etc. And also just to let you know that we're always on the lookout for some marshals to help out on the day. We do pay our marshals. So if any of your friends or family were going to come along and cheer you on anyway, then please do email us and let us know. And if they're interested in being marshals, then we can sign them up and they can basically get paid for cheering you on. How good is that, eh? So yeah, please do let your friends and family know any opportunities for that. We do prefer them to be over 18 for obvious reasons. It's a bit safer out there if we've got older people, adults being marshals. Okay, guys, really can't wait to welcome you to Riverside Park for the StNeots Triathlon. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them underneath the video in the comments below on our Facebook pages or email us at events@activetrainingworld.co.uk. All right, and guys, look forward to seeing you there. Bye.